Meanwhile, the U.S. House of Representatives has passed two bills for protection of immigrants in the country. The bills will be providing a pathway to citizenship for dreamers and for farm workers. Now, dreamers are essentially people who are living in the United States after having illegally entered into the United States as children. And what is interesting is that 9 Republicans also went on to support this bill in the Democrat-controlled House. The legislation will now allow dreamers to live, work, and even serve in the U.S. military. It will also let them continue with their education without the threat of deportation. They'll also stand a chance of eventually getting the American citizenship. The bills will also now go to the deeply divided Senate. This is one of the major attempts to try and reverse former President Donald Trump's hardline immigration policies. Now, on the one hand, this is what Biden has been trying to do, but on the other, the American government will be more aggressive in urging migrants to not come into the United States. This is according to the White House's Southern Border Coordinator, Roberta Jacobson. The Biden administration is dealing with a growing humanitarian crisis at the southern U.S.-Mexico border. There's been a sharp surge in the number of migrants who are fleeing the violence, the natural disasters, the economic hardship brought about due to American sanctions in Central and Latin American nations. Now, this has, of course, put the American President Joe Biden's commitment to a more humane immigration policy to its ultimate test. During the presidential campaign, Joe Biden had promised to end Donald Trump's hardline immigration policies. The promise has now further complicated the crisis. The U.S. officials are struggling to house an increasing number of unaccompanied children. Many have been stuck in what have been described as jail-like stations for many days and weeks. The government-run shelters have also been overwhelmed. The Biden administration's message to the migrants has now become more stern in recent days, where Joe Biden has said, don't come to the United States to these immigrants.
We're going to keep saying this. We're going to keep emphasizing that the border's not open, that the majority of people get sent back, do not make it into the United States. And frankly, the message isn't don't come now. It's don't come in this way, ever. This is not the way to come to the United States. The way to come to the United States is through legal pathways.
States was to expel migrants trying to cross the border illegally, with the exception of unaccompanied children. The country is also ramping up its messaging efforts through social media, radio and NGOs. The Republican lawmakers are criticizing the Biden administration for having relaxed some of Donald Trump's tough immigration policies, which has only encouraged more people to start their march towards the United States. The U.S. border authorities caught nearly about 100,000 migrants at the border with Mexico in the month of February. This is the highest since mid-2019. And over 4,500 children were being held in border facilities. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.